Revelation 952. From the 7th of June 1939. Different living conditions not an obstacle to the development of the soul. The ways of people's lives are so different and can nevertheless lead to the same result, and so it is erroneous to assume that the life of the soul can develop only in certain conditions, while it must remain completely uninfluenced, where the life situation of man is less beneficial for the soul. This view is so extremely erroneous, because all people must have the same possibility to reach the state of perfection, and the eternal Godhead can never want a preference or a setting back of a being, because this would never be compatible with divine love and justice. The living conditions of people are apparently favorable or unfavorable, and this gives rise to wrong conclusions, but the lot of the individual man is always so allotted to him as it can contribute to the higher development in the highest degree, if it is only extensively used by himself, and this alone is decisive. The human being is indeed often forced by extraordinary circumstances to move in a certain direction of thought, that is, he will have to solve tasks in the worldly field which steer his thought processes, so that he occupies himself little or not at all with spiritual problems. However, no human being on earth is exclusively only earthly active. There is still time for everyone to deal with himself and to pay attention to spiritual questions, if only the will is present. And it is also never the occupation, the situation in life, time or place of his earthly existence somehow hindering to form his inner life according to divine will. Always and always the will of man is the sole factor which must be reckoned with. The will overcomes all outer life situations, which threaten to become obstructive for the soul life. And again it is the desire for the world, which can be considered as the greatest obstacle for the higher development of the soul. And this desire can be nourished in seemingly good as well as in bad life situations, but it can also be fought against. All resistances are there in order to be overcome, and it is therefore unimportant whether the human being has to pass a hard life struggle due to poor circumstances and therefore less worldly temptations, or whether he has to fight the harder struggle against the world in a good life. It is always and in every life situation the inner life completely separate from the life of the body. Thoughts are transmitted to the man so versatilely by the spirit beings looking after him so that it only depends on the grasping and utilization of these. And this is never dependent on the life situation of man and the destiny determined to him. Because this is assigned to every person according to the wise plan of the Creator in such a way that it guarantees the highest possible perfection, and therefore the earthly life only needs to be used rightly, that is according to divine will, in order to lead to full success. So the objection is completely invalid that a profession or a destiny makes it easier to find the way to knowledge. Always only the will is decisive that a person pays attention to his inner life and is therefore active of his own accord for the salvation of his soul. Amen.